Hi friends, I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I'm seeing you maneuvering through like maybe a tricky situation. This may be just a theme that's upcoming, like you may be trying to like avoid certain things that you don't really want to get in the middle of. Okay, we're starting off with the devil here. Looking at Capricorn and Leo. I'm also seeing Gemini on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, something may be a bit of a struggle. What I see here right now when I'm seeing these cards, there may be something that is like very tempting or wants to kind of suck you in, but your higher self is like, let's not do that. Let's actually go in the other direction. Because I'm seeing you be very, very aware that something feels tempting to you, because ultimately the devil is some sort of temptation, but you know that if you succumb to it, that you're not going to get what you want. It's kind of like a false promise. It's like an illusion that you can buy into. So I'm seeing you know that like maybe it would feel good in an instant to, I'm hearing divulge. I'm hearing some other words too. Hold on. Maybe pulling back from it. And I mean, this can be anything too. Say like you're trying to eat healthy and there's like a piece of chocolate cake in front of you that's like, hey, eat me. And you're like, no, please get out of here with that. I don't want to be tempted. So whatever this is, like, you know that you've kind of like maybe even struggled with this in the past to moderate. Because the devil can be something that it may be like tricky to moderate, or you know, like I can't participate in that at all because once I do, then I'm not able to moderate it. So I know better than to even like start to take a step in that direction. I'm not even going to do that because you don't even want to get caught up in that cycle. You know, it's going to be even harder. So yeah, I'm seeing that it's kind of like the fight between where your human is pulling you and versus where like your human and like impulsive behavior and even your animalistic nature pulls you into something. And I'm seeing this be like related to the five senses here, something that would be pulling you in that direction versus your willpower. Very much a test. I'm hearing testament of your will and strength. The reason that you're doing this is because you know something is going to come of this, meaning you are going to get something that you want, but it just depends on what you do. Meaning, like, if you give into this, you may not get the conclusion that you want. However, if you practice your discernment and your willpower here, whatever this is that you're working towards, you are going to accomplish that. Absolutely. It's just a matter of like how much you want it and how much you're willing to put in the work for this. I will say too, with the devil, this is like a very, very difficult situation, like one of the most difficult situations for you to be practicing willpower within. So yeah, it's not just something easy where it's like, oh yeah, of course I can do this. Like, you may be questioning at times, you may feel like really tempted, you may get very close to giving in and then be like, no, I gotta pull myself back from this. But it's like even this thing that repetitively calls you, so you constantly have to be kind of like pushing this thing away, or at least not crawling towards it. Essentially, it would be easier to give in, but I'm seeing you not want to go down that path. It's just going to take discipline, because you already know that this is part of your shadow / part of self-sabotage. Part of your Even attachments, attachment style. But I'm seeing you definitely know better here. Like, you know that if you gave into it, you kind of know that you're kind of like buying into the illusion or doing something that wouldn't benefit you. I'm seeing there be full awareness, like, this isn't something for me to be doing, or this isn't something for me to be engaging in, participating in, involving myself in. There's like full awareness here that this is something shadow related for you. And there's full awareness too that this will take discipline and strength. I'm also hearing free will. Yeah, you know that this would be impulsive to give in, and you also even morally know that this wouldn't be the right thing. This even reminds me of like for some of you, there could be temptation, like say you're in a relationship or you have a commitment or something, and somebody's like, hey, don't I look good? And there's this thought, like, maybe I will give into that, but also there's this part of you too that's like, that morally there's an issue with that. Like, I know that that's temptation, and I also know that I would not be in, I would not be in my integrity to do that. So there's already an awareness here. Even too, like this feeling of, if I give in, this is something that I would hide or I would be ashamed of. Because I don't want to be seen doing this, because again, it goes against my morals. So that's how you'll know what this is. A lot of interplay here with this situation. Yeah, I'm seeing this again be very, very important. If there's something that you're trying to figure out, like, is this just like me having fun and me wanting to indulge in something that's like harmless, versus is this something that morally I have an issue with? If you feel like there's a need to hide this or keep this a secret or not be honest about this, it's going to tell you that like morally you have an issue with that. It's not in alignment with your values, and that's going to tell you whether or not it's like a harmless situation. Like, if you would not proudly be like, yes, this is what I'm doing, I'll share it with the whole world, and be like that about it. Remember too, there's also overcompensating. Like, sometimes we want to hide things, sometimes we feel like we need to push it and be like very aggressive and out there with it. If you feel like you're on those ends of the spectrum, it's something to look at more. But when you feel kind of like middle of the road with it, more or less, there's not like resistance or tension that you're creating by doing this thing or participating in it. Okay. Icing on the cake. You have to figure out what thing you want more. The thing is too that I'm seeing you in a space where when it comes to the devil, this is going to be like an instant situation for you, where you may get what you want in a moment, like 100%, but then it like goes away very quickly. Meaning like you have that bite of chocolate cake and it feels fantastic, and then it's like over. Or you get that thrill of whatever the situation is, or that high of it, or that experience that you want, and then it's like very fleeting and it's gone. Versus a thing that may take more work and it may be more drawn out, but it's something that's going to be more lasting for you. And I'm seeing you just like be between the two of these things. Like, do I give in, or do I show myself how strong I am within this situation and that I can really go after what I deeply want? Because it seems too with the Strength card that that's more so the thing that you're looking towards and the thing that you want and where you want to be, but you know that it's going to be more difficult. This like goes back to the marshmallow thing. It's like you can have one marshmallow now, but if you wait 5 minutes, you can have 2 marshmallows. And if you wait 5 more minutes after that, you can have 3 more marshmallows. So it just seems like, are we going to give in to an impulse to to try to like satiate something immediately that is going to be very short-lived, or are we playing the long game here? If you are going after what you really want, it is going to take time, I'm seeing. But it's like, if you want it badly enough, you're going to wait for it. You're going to put in the work that is necessary because you're ready to invest in that. The thing is, too, that these are just, like, different trips that you're on. Like, one of them is going to be a 5-minute game, and another one is going to be, like, an hour-long game that you're playing. It's all just, like, deciding what's worth it to you. Because I'm seeing, like, the reward at the end is going to be much greater if you're practicing, I'm hearing, strength and integrity. And the other thing comes along with karmic baggage, is what I'm seeing, if you succumb to this. Because I'm also seeing, for some of you, this is also something physically that you feel drawn to. But as I said before, like, there wouldn't be an issue with this, but because the Seven of Swords is here, like, this is not something that you would be proud of. Like, this was not something that you would feel is in alignment for you. And that's where morally the issue comes up. And I'm seeing there be, like, you're just going to need to resist impulse here if you want this thing that you really want. But I'm seeing you be in a space where you're like, it is worth the wait, I know that. But it's just a matter of, like, putting into practice this idea, kind of taking this theory and creating a pragmatic scenario with it by applying it. It's going to take patience. It's going to take transmutation. It's also going to take a positive self-talk space, too. You may feel like there's a lack of support either from yourself or from people around you, or maybe people even criticizing what you're doing. But you know that this is something that you want. But there may be something about, like, combating those energies or figuring out how to diffuse them. For some of you, you may actually be, like, using that as motivation for you. Like, somebody could be, like, maybe criticizing you or putting you down in some way, and you're like, that's going to make me that much stronger to accomplish this. Like, you could feel somebody's, I'm hearing the word tantalizing. There's something about transmuting something intellectually that's happening. Again, whether this be energy coming through from another person or this be coming out from within. Okay. So I'm seeing the Seven of Swords, the Hanged Man, and also the Knight of Wands being connected. It seems like if you give in to whatever this, like, impulsive instant gratification thing, I'm seeing that this is definitely not going to be what you think it is going to be. This is like, yes, when I eat that chocolate cake, it is, like, totally going to be worth me, like, giving into it. The chocolate cake is just an example. It's totally going to be a metaphor. It's going to be worth it to me. And then you, like, take a bite of the chocolate cake and it's, like, the worst chocolate cake you've ever had. This is what I'm seeing with the Seven of Swords, the Hanged Man, and the Knight of Wands. So you'd be like, that wasn't even worth it to me. It seems like now you're even realizing why you learning about this may actually be reinforcing you to hold off on something. because the holding off is part of accomplishing this wish fulfillment. So this is kind of like, whatever wish fulfillment this is of yours, if you can like put in the time that is needed, the patience to transmute the energy that is telling you otherwise or trying to kind of bend you in the other direction, if you're able to like hold out and really practice your strength and your resilience and stay in your integrity, I'm seeing that you are going to achieve whatever this goal is of yours. No doubt. It's just going to take you actually showing up and doing what needs to be done here. But I'm not seeing this be like out of your depth or anything like that. And I'm seeing it all come back to how you're channeling your willpower. I'm also hearing your sacral energy. I would imagine too that solar plexus is involved in it. Well, I guess all of them are. All of the chakras. Also too, wherever you have something coming up and it may be like a bit of a struggle or you trying to like figure out how to maneuver through it, I'm seeing that like this is going to give you like more information about yourself and also how you work too. So this is something where it can be an introspective process if you allow it to be. Like there's a lot that you can learn. Meaning, say an impulse pops up for you, rather than like going into a tizzy and feeling like this becomes a whole thing, you can kind of like watch it and observe it and be like, oh, that's something that impulsively I feel drawn to, and then you can like take it apart and analyze it and understand it more if you want to. Like you can interpret that in any way that you desire and allow it to be part of a process that allows you to learn more about yourself and understand more about yourself. And even be like intrigued and interested in these things that pop up and not feel like you need to do anything with them or give into it. Don't feel like you need to act on the behalf of these impulsive things that are popping up for you. I'm also seeing too that the more you do this, the more control you're going to feel like you're gaining, and the more say you are going to feel like you have as well. There's a lot of, this is going to be informing you of a lot, I'm seeing. And this is also how you develop into a more masterful energy, especially when it comes to your divine masculine energy. Remember, all of us have masculine and feminine. So this message is not for any gender in particular, if one identifies with a gender. I'm gonna get just a couple more. I do keep seeing the Emperor on the bottom of the deck. I'm also looking at Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, and Neptune. Observe how you're feeling. Pay attention to how you're feeling. Also, too, for those of you that this is like, you feel like this is more of a psychological thing, if you're in a space where you are feeling like even righteous about something, but leaning into like the shadow with your righteousness, that may be part of what the shadow work is about. Because I'm even seeing like, for doing something shadow related, you may be finding an excuse. Like, this person did that to me, or like, I want to do it first before they take advantage of me. Things like this that would be coming from like you approaching this from a place of separation or even survival, or like, I need to take advantage before this person does, or like, they lied to me before, so why can't I lie to them? Stuff like that. You want to pay very close attention to this and how you are justifying you doing something that would be not in alignment with your integrity. As I said before, whatever this thing is, it's going to feel super tempting to you, and you also would not be proud of doing this. Like, think about the person that that you see as I don't know, like think about like somebody that you admire very much, and like, would you want to tell them this, or would you feel like, I feel kind of ashamed of that? Again, because you wouldn't see it as being in alignment with you and your system. Because morals are somewhat subjective, values are somewhat subjective. They can be anyway. But the Seven of Swords is here because, like, for you specifically, this is not something, if you like gave into whatever this is and you didn't hold out for it, like you wouldn't feel particularly, again, like proud of it or wanting like everybody to see. But there may be something that went on that you would like, well, my behavior can be excused because of this. And again, like you want to ask yourself, like, are you playing the victim within a situation, or are you really just acting in alignment with your integrity? And it's going to tell you what's the right thing to do here for you specifically. And pay attention to how you're feeling. This is all a lesson about you getting more in touch with your intuition and following along with that and these feelings that pop up for you. Because I'm seeing something that looks like maybe somewhat of a new sort of process for you. It feels very much like the training ground for something that your guides are like activating and encouraging you to develop. Okay, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.